this. I had to put some extra stuff in there. All right, stay with me, Loretta.
I'm here.
Bum, 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 ba-dum. All right, I think we are streaming live after our little technology snafus this morning. That's Kelly's fault for not knowing what she's supposed to be doing. But now I know. And in the future, no problem. So good morning, everyone. It is a Friday morning. It is the last day of July. I don't know about all of you, but when I sat at this desk back in December and put my great big 2020 calendar on the wall, not going to lie, I was putting stuff on my calendar, and some of the things that I was actually putting on there, it actually felt like I was like, something feels empty here. Something feels weird. Like something was missing in place. And now I kind of understand why, because I've pretty much erased or crossed off pretty much everything in my calendar. So it's crazy to think that we're already here at the end of July, and we are officially more than halfway through the year. So I'm popping in this morning, and before I'm going to introduce you all to Loretta in just a minute, because she has some exciting news that she wants to share with everyone. And then I have a personal question. Who else out there goes to get their hair dyed and doesn't wash it before they go to the hairdresser? That's me. I'm going to the hairdresser this morning. If you could see, I have all of a sudden COVID has brought out all my gray. It's like all this peppery, salty stuff coming through. But yeah, so I'm one of those people that I always show up in my hairdresser's chair and I'm like, yeah, I didn't wash it this morning. She's like, it's okay. So we're here today for a couple things. So Loretta is one of my students. She is in both my Ignite program, and then being part of the Ignite program, I gifted all of our Ignite students back in June with a new core foundational marketing program called Fully Booked. So Loretta has the joy of being in Ignite and getting all of the juiciness and excitement with Ignite, and all the Q&A calls and the get shit done days and all the strategies and the support. And then she also is blessed with getting Fully Booked, which I am super, super proud of. So Loretta, the reason why I also wanted to bring Loretta on is because Loretta does not live actually that far from me. She probably lives maybe 45-ish minutes, maybe or so from me. And I've been watching Loretta from afar actually for a little while. And I'm super proud of everything that she has accomplished. And so she's going to share with us a big celebration. But before you share your big celebration, Loretta, why don't you tell everyone your name, your company name, where you're located, and what your niche is, and then tell us real briefly, why is that niche so important to you? And for anybody watching, this is why it is, I can't say it out of my mouth enough times about you have to choose a niche. You have to. It doesn't mean that you can't change it later. It doesn't mean that if somebody comes and asks you to do something that's outside the niche, but it's in alignment with your values, it doesn't mean that you don't have to, you can't say yes to those opportunities. But the problem is that when you are trying to be all things to all people and trying to go after, I've watched many of you coming here, and as part of the celebration welcome post, we always say, if you have a niche, share it with us. And many people come in and they're like, yes, I have a niche. I work with busy professionals, and I work with seniors, and I'm going after corporate, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm telling you, especially if you are well seasoned and you've been in the industry for a while and you're already making between 50 and 100K, no problem. You can focus on multiple areas. But if you're in that phase where you're going from 0 to 50K, you have to choose a niche. And the reason why is because the way you speak to each of the niches that you're trying to go after, all of them, There's different languaging that you're going to use with all of them. There's different marketing. There's different marketing groups. There's different referral partners. There's different centers of influence, and you can't possibly go after all of them. It is the biggest mistake that I ever made. If I could go back, like people say all the time, Kelly, if you could go back to your prior Kelly, what would you tell her? And one of the greatest things I would have told myself is, listen, girl, I know you think you got it all figured out. And I know you think you've got, you can handle it all. And nobody's going to tell you how to do this, because that's me. I'm always like, nobody's going to tell me how to run my business. Right. And I would go back to myself and I would be like, Kelly Schaefer, pick one niche and just stick to it until you figure that shit out. And then you can add on, because not doing that delayed my progress for years. If I would have stuck to one, I would have been easily able to do 50K in my first year, no problem. It took me 3 years to do 50K. 3 years. And now I help my students get to 50K in one. Why? Because they're better listeners than I ever was. So if you are new in this area, or if you are trying to gain traction and you're finding you're not gaining traction, the first thing you got to do is you got to scrap it all off and stop trying to go after multiple people at one time. It is delaying your progress. So that's my loving kick in the ass this morning. So Loretta, I would love for you to share now where you're from, who you are, what, and your niche, and a real brief why you're so passionate about that niche.
Yes, good morning. I'm happy to be here, Kelly. Loretta Shacklett, and the name of my business is Simplify Senior Living. I'm in the Bluebell area. I work from a little bit of Bucks, Montgomery County to the main line. I'm a concierge service to invested in a very high-end level of service to support older adults with their independence, their health, and their quality of life. My niche is senior citizens as older adults. My passion for this probably came out of taking care of my own mother. And what a blessing and a joy it was. But I found a tremendous void in finding people to come in and help me care for my mother. Someone to come in and spend an afternoon that my mother would enjoy. And it was out of that need that Simplify Senior Living was born. And I do have a tremendous passion for older adults and senior citizens. My background, I was a family therapist, a family counselor for over 20 years, and I have life coaching skills. And so the quality of life is so important for me. Providing emotional support and being there and honoring their seniors. And I've always felt this way. I just have a passion for treating them with tremendous dignity. It hurts me inside when I see older adults or seniors that are not treated with dignity and respect. There are elders, they've lived wonderful lives. They're a treasure to us. And I feel that's the way they should be valued. So I really have a passion about working with senior citizens and providing that emotional support. Of course, I do it through, food shopping and cleaning up their kitchen and working with them. But I'm very conscious of every minute I am with them, that their quality of life is foremost. And that's the most important aspect of my service.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, people, how beautiful was that, right? So if you are new meeting Loretta, I don't know about you, but I immediately would be like, oh, if I needed help with somebody to take care of my mom or my grandmom or my grandpop or something, like in a heartbeat be willing to hire Loretta, because she's so passionate about it. And the beauty behind what she's sharing is she's sharing from her heart, deeper than and her and I, we had a conversation together actually before we went live, where I was just sharing with her that one of the mistakes that a lot of people make when they're marketing as well is that they always talk about the things that they do, but it's actually not the things that you do. It's actually the thing that you do. And once you figure out the core thing that you actually provide to your clients, You just happen to do it through errands and grocery shopping and meal planning and party prep and lifestyle management and household management, right? But you've got to figure out what the core thing is, the heart connected thing that it is that you actually provide for your clients. And when you can figure that out, all of your marketing will change. But you still need to be marketing, right? Like just knowing this, like, so if Loretta just had this passion, it's still not going to bring her clients unless she's out there saying, hey, everybody, I have this passion and I am here to make a difference. But she won't get clients unless she's actually out there marketing, right? So we wanted to just share, and I'm sorry I have to keep looking at my phone. I put a lock on it a couple weeks ago. Don't ask me why. I'm usually I wanted to see who's here with us. So Stacy's here, and Amanda's here, and Pam is here, and Stacy's here again, and Cedric is here. Cedric said, "Loretta, I love your passion." So, so Loretta, what would you say? So you've been following me for a while, right? And I know that you were, because that's how I knew your name, because I could see, like, I see people who follow me, right? And they're reading the stuff and they're clicking on the things. And you were always one who would show up to all of my trainings and free trainings and Facebook Lives. And you always got engaged. You always asked questions. And what would you say was the thing that helped you decide to go from observer of information and then committing to joining a program? Like, what was your thought process there?
I was working so hard with my marketing. I was spending so many hours uh, each and every day. I had read your book. That was the first thing I did when I after I got my LLC and started my company. Your book was the first book that I read.
Here it is.
And
Oh, where is it?
yeah,
Oh, I
where
think
it's
I moved it. I moved
I
it yesterday.
I have it too up on my
Do
bookcase
you?
over here.
Oh, here it is. I moved it. Yeah. So that's the
Yeah,
concierge
first
life.
first
Yep.
thing, and I still use it all the time. And I did some courses and I did a lot of Facebook Lives and everything you were talking about. But all of a sudden, it dawned on me that I was working so hard and I was putting in so many hours, and I was starting to get really lost and disappointed. I was out there networking. I was meeting all these people. I was going to networking events. I was going out to assisted living facilities. I was trying my hardest, but it wasn't working.
Obviously,
It
obviously
was
based with what you thought you knew or the information that you were
exactly,
gaining online,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
And through following you and I was starting to then get an understanding that there's something here. I'm missing I'm missing something important here because I am doing this networking. And every time everybody mentioned it, that's all I would say was, "Oh my God, I network all the time."
Mm-hmm.
But I luckily through something you said somewhere along the line, I realized, you know what, I've got to make this a commitment and find out. And boy, has it changed everything.
And what would you say were like the two things that, because I try to explain to people too, right? Like, don't allow Google to be your marketing plan, right? Don't allow Google searches to be how you expect to grow your business. Google is a great place to get like that high level information, to figure out how to make something work, to figure out how to design maybe a business card, to figure out, you know, what website platforms are out there. But don't allow Google to try to give you insights that Google doesn't have. You can gain so much knowledge so much faster from somebody else's personal experience. When somebody else can take something, just that's why do we send our kids to school? So that they learn, right? They learn from personal experience, from implementation, from accountability from the teacher, from homework. But yet, as adults, we just assume like we don't need any help. We can figure it out all on our own. And so, what would you say were two of the biggest things um, that you kind of learned? Like, if you had not joined the Ignite program or the fully booked program, what what do you think the two biggest things are if you had not joined? Where would you be now if you had not joined?
Two biggest takeaways from the Ignite Your Business and Fully Booked program. Uh, First thing is the two biggest ones, networking and systems. And what I learned from you and from those two programs about networking completely changed my whole concept on networking and marketing. And I realized the biggest concept and the biggest thing that changed my marketing is understanding. I was out there everywhere. I was a million different places, and I was making one contact or one connection at a time. And the biggest thing I learned from you is that um, networking is relationship building, like relationships in your life that you have all the time. They're built on trust. They're built on companionship. They're built on time. They're built on, and when I finally understood that, I understood it obviously in my personal life and my relationships or whatever. But when I was able to take that concept and bring it over to a business, my business arena or whatever, it changed my whole marketing approach.
Yeah.
Now I realize that the relationship has to be nurtured. It has to be built on trust. It has to be built on authenticity. It's the same thing like if you're looking for a pediatrician or an art teacher for your children. Well, who am I going to go to? Well, geez, for a pediatrician, I'm going to call so-and-so because, I trust her. I know she's had experience with that. Her one daughter had such and such a surgery or whatever. Geez, I will call her because you trust and you know that relationship and you know that they're going to give you the best advice. Same thing if you're looking for, an art teacher for your child. Who are you going to call? You're going to call somebody who's had that experience.
Yep.
So what I try to do now is to build that trust and with that, the experience of what I know about seniors and what my passion is about seniors and how much I care for them. And that now I don't worry about getting business. And I don't go into events going, where am I going to get a client? Now I go into them.
Yes.
Now I go into them to try to build relationships. And it
Yes.
has absolutely
Yes.
changed my whole business.
Yes.
And it's changed me.
Yes.
It's changed me. So,
and it has changed. I remember yesterday during one of our group Q&A calls, you even said, I am just happier now, right? Like you are happier doing your marketing now, right?
and making
Because
friends.
now you have a whole new philosophy on how it's actually supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And because in the fully booked course, the first three core modules, which are networking, following up, and referral partnerships, I break it down to like the microest micro of how all this actually works. And so does anybody have any questions? Let's see. I have to refresh my screen here, everyone. So, and we're on a little delay. So Everett said, good morning, everyone. God will continue blessing you, Loretta. And Sean said she loves the book. Thank you, Sean. So does anybody have a question that they would want to ask Loretta about, her experience or where she is or so if you have a question, pop it in the comments. And then while I'm waiting for comments, I'm going to ask Loretta to share her most recent big celebration. And we were so proud of her yesterday. And again, I've been watching Loretta for a while, right? She was been in my sphere for a long time. She took all the free stuff. She read everything. I mean, she emailed me a bazillion times and right. She would message me on LinkedIn. I mean, all the good stuff, right? That everybody does in the beginning. And then watching her in the past few months. So we started the Ignite program back in May. And just since May to now in July, me watching I want to say the maturity level, for lack of a better word. That's the word that's coming to me. Like the maturity level in her positioning and the maturity level of her entrepreneurship and learning how to think more like a CEO and less like somebody who's trying to like either you know, build a hobby, or B, trying to go out there and get from other people. And that's the mistake a lot of people make. They go out to get clients. And I teach about how to get clients, but it's more about attracting clients. It's not about going to get someone. It's about being of service to those people who need you out there. But she shared a celebration yesterday during our group Q&A call. And so Loretta, tell everyone, what is your new biggest celebration and achievement?
Thanks, Kelly. I just received my certification as a certified senior advisor, and I'm so happy on so many different levels. I worked for about 4.5 months studying to become a member of the Society of Certified Senior Advisors. And I just wanted to let everybody know that having that CSA designation after my name means a tremendous amount to me. The course itself supported my passion for working with seniors and caring for them. It really supported the passion of quality of life, of learning how to communicate with seniors. As I said earlier, it has inspired me to embrace how to treat and how to communicate, um, and how to be an asset to older adults in their lives. So
Yes.
I'm really, really proud to be a member of it, and tremendously grateful for all the information I learned about older adults.
Mhm.
Um, One of my biggest takeaways, which when I read about it and studied about it, was their sense of autonomy.
Mhm.
And it's the concept that individuals reign over themselves and they can and should make decisions,
Mhm.
and that is so important for older adults. And in so many situations, we take that away from them. And it's one of the most important concepts and one of the most important issues for older adults.
Yes.
So that and many other things. But anyhow, I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I know how much it will help me to be a better caretaker for older adults.
Yeah. So I love it too. When Loretta and I were talking before we went live as well, I was sharing with her. So I have a nursing background, right? So I have a nursing background. I worked in healthcare for 21 years. I was a nurse manager in a nursing home for 2.5 years. I was a manager on a 50-bed unit. I was raised actually by my great grandma. We had 6 living generations in our home, or not in one home, but 6 living generations of women at one time. I don't know how many. I tried to Google what the percentages of that were, and I wasn't finding the right data that I was looking for. But so I've always had this deeper, I think, appreciation and understanding, and then coupled with my practical uh, my nursing training, and then my clinical skills, right? And so I really to a core understand, and it was one of the greatest things that helped me be able to articulate working with our seniors and our seniors families, what it is that we actually provide, right? So I'm so grateful that Loretta has now had this deeper understanding and awareness, because it will support her business. So now she has her CSA certification, her Certified Senior Advisor certification, that has now supported her understanding, knowledge, and deepened her understanding of aging adults for her business. And then she couples that with the marketing and the strategy and the exact how to on how to actually market her business, because you can still have this, but if you're not marketing, this is still, it's going to have you feel passionate and it will support you, but you still have to go out and market. Marketing is the key. It is the bridge between having something that you want to provide to your society, to your community, and to your world, and impacting people's lives. Marketing is the bridge, and it's done in different ways. And it doesn't have to be difficult once you understand the exact formula. So I wanted to make everyone aware. Let me see real quick. Let me open this back up again, see if there's any new, whoops, And we're also on we're on this big long delay too. So, okay. So I don't think anybody has any specific questions right now. And one of the things I wanted to also let everyone know is in my attempt to help people bridge that gap of wanting to be of service to others and be to service, because I truly believe, and I if you caught the live that I did Wednesday morning before I left the beach house, I know the impact that those of you who are here to be of service, who are called to do this work, whether it is with seniors or it is with moms, or someone the other day, one of our students shared that she is going to be focusing now on end of life concierge services, right? I mean, how fucking beautiful is that? I know some of you aren't going to like that word, and that's okay, but I mean, how fucking beautiful is that?
Yeah.
Being a nurse, I've actually sat with many a patient while they crossed over. So I have a deep understanding of death as well. So for someone to decide that that is going to be their mission and their passion, so basically the services are all going to be the same, right? It'll be helping support them in their home and helping to do the shopping and maybe do some meal prep and making phone calls and helping to make arrangements and being a liaison, right? Like, again, all the things that we do will all likely be very similar, but in the way that you package the things that you're going to do and you present them and serve them to serve a client is this is your mission, this is your life's work. This is why you're here. So if you have that call, you know that you're here to be of service, right? And we're all called to be of service in different ways. And not everyone came with that light on, turned on. You already came pre-programmed with this light of love and compassion and empathy and willingness to take care of others and willingness to think about others and willingness to anticipate people's needs and wanting to just make people's lives better. We all have that light, but all of our light is different. So some of us are served to do that through building homes. Some of that us are have that light to beautify homes or to help people find the right home to live in, or providing beautiful landscaping, right? Like, we all have a light of service in us to provide a value to other people. But I am telling you now, not every person has that same need that you feel inside that you cannot turn off. It is a need to be of service. It is a need to reach out and help your fellow man, whether it's man, woman, child, whatever it is in your niche. Find out what that is, because this is what you are called for. Sometimes our callings become, I call it my gateway drug. Nursing was my gateway drug. I never thought I would leave nursing, but it was my gateway drug to become a concierge and have the impact that I did in my local community. And then that became my gateway drug to be able to do what I am now, to help turn on the light for all of you and inspire you to get your asses out there and share your light with others. You make a bigger difference in people's lives than I think you actually realize. I know when I first started my business, I had no idea the actual impact that I was making. It took me a couple of years, I think, to really energetically feel it in my bones and in my cells. And when that happened and I understood that, then there was no stopping me. There was nothing that was going to get in my way from me reaching our clients. So that is my call to you, if you hear me. And so I wanted to also invite everyone. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here. We have decided that we're running a 72-hour promo. We've opened up fully booked. So fully booked on our website, the program sells for $997. But we have a price on our website that's $697. And for the next 72 hours, you can get the entire fully booked system for an additional $100 off. So this is some of what Loretta was talking about, right? So, and I'll put the link to the page in here. And if you're on my email list, you will get emails. You probably already got one this morning because I am passionate. It's like my mission right now is to help you find your people so that you can help them, because I can only impact so many lives individually. I can only impact so many lives with a team. But when I can turn on all of your lights, my ripple effect goes out so much further. And it is how I will positively impact 1 million lives before I leave this earth. That is my mission. So, what is in the program? You can read everything that's in the program. I'm not going to go through it all, but what I want to share with you is it's networking made easy. Stop struggling with your networking, because most people, one, they're not doing it enough, and the second is they're not doing it the right way. If you're not getting clients from your networking, it's simply because you're not doing it the right way, because you just have not been taught how to do it the right way. And all the amount of Google searching out there is never going to pull the pieces together the way this course does. How to keep in touch and to do so consistently for the long term. And I mean, each of these modules is actually broken down into like 4, 5, 6 core modules under each one, because we break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces so that you really understand it, so that you can then take this information. This information is not intended for you to just read and consume. It is here for you to read, consume, and then use it to have a greater impact in your world and for you to make money. Because when you make money, you can own your own financial independence as well. Organic referrals, one of my favorite freaking things in the world is how to create referrals and how to have them actually happen kind of on purpose, but very naturally. Websites that work, because quite frankly, I've looked at many of your websites and they are not going to convert clients. They're just not, because you're missing things and you're making huge mistakes on your websites. And the website module breaks down, one, how to avoid the mistakes most people are making, and two, the things that every website needs to have in place to get people to literally come to your website and then actually pick up the phone to call you, because they might land on your site, but if they don't see what they're looking for, boop, they're hopping off and they're going to go look for the next competitor or the next solution. How to use speaking to actually make money, right? Because when you learn how to speak in front of people, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be learn how to speak in front of people for just 5 minutes. But when you learn how to speak in a certain way, it helps you become a leader in what it is that you're doing. And that creates money through clients and referrals. And then how to use social media, because a lot of people are thinking that social media is going to get them clients. And again, you're not doing it the right way. And again, that's not the intention for social media. And I teach you exactly what the intention of social media really is. And then in addition to all of that, now again, this program is priced at $597. In addition to that, we have a shit ton of bonuses. There's unlimited access to the course. You have a Q&A call coming up in August. We have, if you are just getting started, there are like 8 modules on how to actually set up your business and set up a strong foundation. Things to think about naming your business, things about thinking about your website, things about thinking about your business cards, things about thinking about how you are going to choose your ideal clients and the services that you're going to offer. It's all the stuff that honestly, again, Google is not going to be able to provide for you in such a comprehensive way. And then there's so much more. And then in addition to all of that, you also get a ticket for those of you who buy the fully booked program. You also get a gifted ticket to come to our live event that's going to be held in September. It's going to be live, held virtually, but it is being run like a live event. This is not a virtual training. This is not a webinar. It's a full 2-day comprehensive live event, as if you had left your house and come here to Bucks County to be with me, and all of the things that you'll learn there about how to think and act more like a CEO so that you can actually build a business that you're proud of. You can prove everybody wrong and all the naysayers in your life and actually make more money. So I'll drop the link for you all in here. I just want to see if anybody has any questions at all. We have, let's see. And again, we're on a delay. So Let's see. Everett said, congratulations, Loretta. He just landed 6 months ago a new niche for him, working with mortuary funeral directors and families. Yeah. So people, right? Pick a freaking niche, people. I love you. I love this so much. Amanda said, Loretta, congratulations on a wonderful achievement. Do you provide companionship to seniors as well as practical services? Yeah, right?
Absolutely. That's probably the biggest part of my business is companionship.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and then Pam, Loretta wants to know if it's okay if she connects with you offline about your CSA.
Absolutely. I would be so happy to talk with her.
Abso-freaking-lutely, Pamela Francis. Jamie also said congratulations. Becky said she's looking forward to module 4. So Jamie and Becky, you are both in the program too. If you have anything that you would want to share and tell anyone who's considering purchasing the fully booked marketing system, what did you get out of it, right? Like, why should people go from consuming and researching and trying to figure it out on their own to actually investing in themselves? And here's the thing I want you to all think about. And I'm going to be talking about this in more detail at a later time, but thinking about when you put money out in your business, it is not an expense. An expense is when you go to freaking Starbucks and you spend $8 for a freaking latte. That is an expense, right? When you join a program, when you join coaching, when you buy a marketing system, when you invest, you are investing in your business through education. It is an investment that will always come back to you because what you learn, once you drink that cup of coffee, it's gone forever. So that $8 that you know, put down on your latte, that is an expense that will never come back to you, right? But when you invest, that is you investing in your future, you investing in you today, you investing in you 10 years from now, when you can expand your mind. The greatest thing you can do is have a skill to learn something. And when you learn how to market, you will always have that knowledge with you. It's exactly why I was able to take what I learned through growing a concierge business and helped people in dozens of other industries grow their businesses because I learned how to perfect marketing. Now, can marketing always be honed in on and tweaked? Absolutely, because that's what you have to do. As times change, we have to tweak our marketing, because that's exactly why I sucked in the beginning, because I bought some books and I did all the Google searching. And quite frankly, all the crap that was out there was outdated. Hanging flyers in your local library is not getting you clients anymore. Right. So, and that's what I was reading. And I was doing everything in the damn list. And like Loretta said, when she started, I felt so deflated because, and I cried. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Why don't they want me? What am I doing wrong? How come I can't make this work? And it's because the information that I was reading was so outdated. And so this live has been far longer than I intended it to be. It always is. But once I get in that passion button, man, I just go freaking crazy. But Loretta, do you have any other final words you'd like to say? Because I know you've got a busy day. And actually, I'm getting my hair did today and I'm getting a massage. So it's a reboot Kelly day.
Lucky Kelly. The only thing I could say is that I promise everybody who's listening to this that the fully booked course will change you as a business owner. It will change your business. And what you get, besides everything that Kelly has said and went through all the list and everything like that, guys, you get Kelly, and she's the best business coach in the world. And you get her every day. And I re-listen to them and to the modules. And each module is broken down. You get 4 or 5 different bite-sized pieces. I've listened to a couple of them 4 and 5 times. So you get Kelly as a business coach.
Real quick, and I appreciate that. And yes, I totally paid her off before coming on. I was not expecting that. And I don't do I appreciate that. Thank you. But I can be the best business coach, but I can't get the results for you, right? I can provide you the information, but those of my students, we celebrated 3 students yesterday who got their very first clients. And I afterwards, I kind of had the tears in my eyes. I was so proud, not proud of me, right? I was proud of them because they did the work. They did the uncomfortableness. They learned, they've listened to me. They've been lovingly kicked in the ass by me, and they are seeing the results. But just say real quick, Loretta, why is it important? Why do you find value in re-listening to the modules more than once? Because I know when I'm in a program, I consume the shit over and over and over again. What helps you with that?
Each day, or as your business grows, as I grow, I hear it differently. I get it differently. I
Yes.
get it on a different level. I say to myself, Loretta, what the heck is wrong with you? Kelly has said that to you 10 times, but I get it. I get it. I get it differently, and it makes a
Yes.
bigger impact, and it makes a bigger difference on me.
Yes, and I will tell you, and sometimes, especially when you're in a learning and when you're learning, right, and you're consuming, you're not going to be able to take in all 100% at one time. You will hear all of it, and one nugget is going to help you take the next step, and you weren't ready for the other 10 nuggets, right? Or the other 9 nuggets. If you had 10 nuggets there and you got one is enough to make the change you need to make in that moment. And then the other nuggets are there, and then you go back and then you pick up the second one, right? Because sometimes we're actually not ready to receive the information, right? We can hear it, but we're not actually ready to integrate it into our bodies, into our day-to-day living, right? But then after you hear it 2, 3, 4, like you said, 5, Kelly's been telling me this all the time, but then be like, damn, you know what? I got it this time. I got
Ellie,
it.
the whole idea of consumer and producer was huge. And I'd heard it before. And it finally hit me that I've been sitting here for how long being a consumer, taking in all of this. And that concept of changing that to becoming a producer and taking the information, taking the skills, taking the things that you're teaching us and putting them into action. I
Absolutely.
sit every morning now. I've got my 3 tasks that have to be completed. I have my huddle sheet. I have my, I contact. I set up 3 1-on-ones a week. I
Yeah.
connect with 2 people every single day, and
Yes.
this is
Yes.
just habit and consistency. I've got it done
Yeah.
by 8 o'clock in the morning.
See, marketing doesn't have to be overly complicated, right? People are like, I'm spending 12 hours a day and I don't have any clients. It's because you're not focused. We got to get granular. We got to get
I
granular.
get more done in that first hour than I did
Yes.
3 days of 10 and 12-hour days with putting those systems into place.
Yes. It doesn't have to be. It's stuff that you cannot learn through a Google search bar. That's all I'm going to say. So Loretta, you have been such a freaking joy. You are
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you for sharing. And I know so many people got so many nuggets from everything that you shared. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Join the Fully Booked program, get all the yumminess, get your gifted ticket to come to Spark Live. And stay tuned for additional information about Spark Live. We will be opening enrollment for that as well to get your tickets. But if you want to get your ticket for free, come and do the Fully Booked system. And I guarantee that your life and your business will be very different 6 months from now. Thank you, my friend, so much. You all have a fabulous, fabulous day. Bye.